You'll just lower it if nobody does it for you. Bring up your book if you like. And so
thanks, guys.
Is just kind of look around and notice how most people are not even looking at you, but it gives you an opportunity to slightly up your
We took piano lessons after another Lane's house. Oh my god!
So you'll sing into the microphone, and when you're done, just stand there because we're going to give you the gift.
Okay.
Is there honey anywhere?
Okay? You can go down this way. Is this your
Yeah.
for tomorrow?
Just like strain your voice. I will.
When you're done, give it to mom.
Okay.
Is there honey anywhere in this temple?
That's a Rabbi Julia dish. Do you have a sort of
Yeah.
I would maybe look for a lozenge.
A lozenge, a throat lozenge. I'm aware.
I would maybe just ask around here, does anyone have a throat lozenge?
Get it
No.
in the mic. Oh.
Yeah, nice try.
It's a cough drop. Someone asked this in the microphone. What is the origin of the word lozenge? No, I literally asked Andrew if I could ask for a lozenge. What? No, her name is Amanda. Oh yeah, I decided to respect that.
We're going to begin.
Yeah, I'm a little creeped out.
It's a music group. I cannot get
So I'm
it.
gonna pick it up.
I love it.
I just threw the wrapper under the chair.
Yeah, they're acrylic. They were like
Graphics. That's what I'm doing next time.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome. Let me invite you to find a seat. Find a friend in the seat next to you. If you have a song sheet, find a song sheet.
Hine Matov is in the prayer book, actually, on top of page 10, if you don't know the words. Hine Matov manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov manayim 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 shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov hine matov. Yalalai, yalalalalai, hine matov, hine matov. Yalalai, yalalalalai, hine matov manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov manayim shevet achim gam yachad. On the song sheet, Lord, prepare me. What number is that? Number 1? Good. Good place to begin. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, right and true, with thanksgiving. Let me hear you sing.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Paul Kipnis. I'm one of the rabbis here at Congregation Orami with Cantor Doug Kotler, Rabbi Julia Weiss, Scott Rabin on piano. We welcome you all here for Shabbat services as we celebrate so much joy and simcha as one of our young ones prepares to become a bat mitzvah tomorrow. Lizzie Hirsch, who's here with Lizzie as she prepares? Stand on up for a second. If you're here to celebrate with her. And to all of you we say, Shabbat Shalom. Sit on down, relax. Glad you're here. If you are here with to celebrate with our if you're an 8th grader being mituated or celebrating with our 8th graders, let me have you rise. Our 8th grade mitts. Oh, and some over there and some over there. And we say Shabbat Shalom. If you are here with our confirmands to celebrate as one of your family members is confirmed tonight, let me ask you to please rise. And to all of you we say, Shabbat Shalom. Please be seated. If you are here to celebrate, a member of our faculty, or to celebrate with our faculty as we thank them for a year of teaching and study, please rise. And to all of you we say, Shabbat Shalom. If you are here tonight because you got cheap tickets on StubHub, please, and the couple have come over there, right. We welcome all of you. Who are worshiping with us via the live stream. Thank you to Bronze Productions for helping make that happen. We hope your worship at home or wherever you are brings you warmth and love. Before we can truly make our way into the celebration, we need to remember that just 2 days ago, we observed Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Remembrance Day, to remember all those murdered in the Shoah and the Holocaust, and all those who fought valiantly, sometimes in vain, but always with the hope that our people would remain alive. 6 of our confirmands will light candles, yellow candles, to remind us of the 6 million we lost. If anything, the Shoah, the Holocaust, reminded us that no matter where we are, or who we are, or how comfortable we feel, or how integrated or assimilated we are into the society, that hatred allowed to run amok will join with other hatred and xenophobia and fear. During the Shoah, it was us. At other times, it was others. And now, unbelievably, the ugly head of anti-Semitism is rising again. We light one more candle for the synagogue in Poway that faced a murderer. Baseless hatred to anyone can transform into terror for everyone. Let us not think that the anti-Semitism is all that we're experiencing here around the world. Let's remember the hatred and the oppression and the xenophobia towards all the groups that are experiencing it. And as Jews, let's remember that in the Shoah we said, never again. And we committed ourselves to stand up not just for ourselves, but for all other groups that were being stereotyped, experiencing bias, prejudice, and hatred. For unless we remember them, perhaps there is no purpose in lighting the candles to remember our own. May their memories be for a blessing. And let us say, Amen. And I'd now like to invite up our bat mitzvah Lizzie and her sisters and mom and dad to join us up on the bima as we light a different kind of light, a light of hope and of love the Shabbat candles. Turn in your prayer book, if you will, to page 2 as we prepare to light the Shabbat candles.
La 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 la, ya la la ya la, la 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 ya la la, la 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 ya la la ya la, la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav V'tzivanu lehadlik ner V'tzivanu lehadlik ner V'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat La 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Amanda Goldwater. To me, Torah is not just the 5 books of Moses, but also a guide to help us learn from the past. The word Torah literally means instruction, as it gives us rules to live by. Torah is full of wisdom and life lessons. The stories and teachings have been passed down for many generations and have been used as a kind of manual for living. Through the stories recounted in the Torah, we learn about human struggles and successes, with greed, gratitude, faith, bravery, oppression, and what it means to fight for freedom. Torah provides for us the basis of our Jewish tradition that is passed down l'dor v'dor, from generation to generation.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'm Rachel Kraut. My older brother Andrew has naturally become my biggest role model. I've looked up to him both literally and figuratively my whole life. One large personality trait that Andrew has that he never really gets credit for is his loyalty and his commitment to his kahila, or community. While living here in Calabasas with us, Andrew was a prominent member of this amazing temple, something that for him came quite naturally. When he moved to Texas for college, pursuing Judaism was initially difficult for him, but he stuck to his values and is now an active member of the world's smallest Hillel and Chabad. He has also joined the Air Force, a passion he claimed all throughout high school. The military has an extremely small population of Jews, but he managed to find an organization of Jewish warriors that puts on national events to network and share experiences. He now sits on the board for these conventions, helping others to create the connections he initially wasn't able to. In this way, he has lit a path for me to take when I move out to college in this upcoming year. He has shown me the reward of family one can get from finding like-minded people in a place where it might be challenging. Andrew's Jewish values, Kehillah, supporting community, Mishpacha, dedication to family, and Hayenu, being there for others, has always and will always continue to inspire me.
I would like to invite up our youth program manager, Jennifer Quick, and if I can get 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th graders to come up quickly. And I would then like to invite our MITs to come up as well. We are going to do mituation.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Madrahim in Training, or MITS, is part of Orami's Triple T Tracks for Temple Teens program. MITS are 8th graders who spend the year learning about teaching, classroom management, lesson planning, and mentoring younger students. This prepares them to become Madrahim, 9th through 12th grade teaching assistants in the Kesher, Hebrew, and Menshafai classrooms. Okay, so my hope for both of you moving forward is that you continue to love being a part of this community, and you use everything you've taken from this year into becoming incredible Madrahim and role models. It's your roles at this temple that make Orami the warm, safe space that it is. So thank you for everything that you've done and will continue to do.
Our mitts. We wrap you in this talit. Cover your head similarly to when you were wrapped in your own talit when becoming bar or bat mitzvah. This is to remind you of the love that surrounds you here today, the love of your teacher Jen, Rabbi Paul, Cantor Doug, and myself, the love of your peers around you, the love of the children you mentored, and the love of your community. May this moment and this moment serve as a reminder of the impact you make as teens involved in synagogue life, and remind you that Orami's doors are always open for you. We hope that in a few years you will be the 12th graders sitting on the bima about to be confirmed. The legacy of mentorship and leadership lives on with each of you. Congratulations, Mazel Tov. You are officially now mituated from mitts to madrachim. We will hand you your clipboards that you can use for retreats. Please keep them, and we look forward to seeing you next year as our madrachim on the retreats. Just a point to note that the 12th graders that are sitting behind me are one of the, I think the second mitts, yeah? And their names are on here every year that we've had mitts. The mitts have signed, and so those that are here and not here will get to sign next Wednesday at their last mitts meeting. Congratulations.
We'll continue with the Baruchu.
I'd like to invite up Jen again. There's a story about a little girl. She's holding 2 apples in her hands. Her mom comes in and asks her daughter, "Little one, can you please give your mom one of these 2 apples?" The girl looks up at her mom for a few moments, then suddenly takes a bite out of one of the apples. When she quickly takes a bite from the other, the mom's smile falls and her face freezes. She tries hard to not reveal her disappointment. Then the little girl hands one of her bitten apples to her mom, and she says, "Here you go, Mommy. This one is the sweeter one." Jen, you find the sweeter apple and hand it to the children, the students, the teens, the faculty, the clergy, and the staff that you work with. I'm continuously amazed by the impact you made and the work you did here at Congregation Orami, the original Dream Team. Thank you for being a support system, dream partner, role model, creative energy, inspiration, cheese enchilada eating, snack packing, travel buddy, and staff member for the last 5 years. We will miss you. We are so proud of you and are immensely grateful for the sweeter apples you offer to all of us just by being here. We know that you will offer this sweetness in your next job in Houston. There's a lot of gifts down here. We'd like to give you a backpack to use when you're traveling with, when you're traveling around doing your job next year in Houston. And inside are 2 gift cards, one for what's supposed to be the best cheese enchiladas near you, and also for a manicure and pedicure near your work as well.
OGDT, original Dream Team. I love that.
Our service continues with the Baruch Hu on page 28. Please rise.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
My name is Yael Brinjagard Bialik. I don't believe in God. That is, I don't believe that there is some being in any form that controls, determines, or even observes our world. I am very science-oriented, and so part of the reason I do not believe is that there just isn't proof. There's no visible evidence for the existence of God, and I don't see a reason to believe in something with virtually no explanation as to why. Personally, it just doesn't make sense to me for there to be such a being, primarily because there's no factual evidence. It may sound pretty cynical and apathetic, but none of this is to say that I don't have faith. I have faith in Jewish values like Tikkun Olam, repairing the world, Kehillah Kadosha, fostering a holy community, and giving tzedakah to charity. I just don't believe in a God that reinforces these values. I think that if I had to say that God was anything, I would say that God is a force. Rabbi Mordechai Kaplan, founder of Reconstructionist Judaism, suggested the same, that God was the sum of all forces in the universe. I think God can just be a synonym for abstracts, like ahava, or love and purity, or even just something that encompasses hesed, or goodness. I wouldn't say God is physical or at all detectable, but the fact that so many people in the world do believe in God means that God is something. In my mind, God is a human construct, but an important one, because it holds together morality and ideas of tzedek, or justice. So I do believe that the very concept of God could be a force on its own, and I do think it is important to have the concept in the world, because for some people, belief in a divine being is the core part of their lives. But for me personally, I am more focused on the values of Judaism than belief in God.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Danny Pattis. My most spiritual moment was in the Hebrew month of Tevet on the first day of the month. I joined an Israeli organization called Women of the Wall, Nashot HaKotel, to pray at Jerusalem's Kotel, the Western Wall. Amid the shouts and whistles and hisses of those angered by the sight of women praying out loud with talit and kippah, I, a woman, went up to the Torah for an aliyah at the Western Wall. In some small way, I fought, as my ancestors fought, for the future of the Jewish people. I raised my voice and chanted the ancient words and refused to be silenced by those who think that only men have the right to public prayer at our people's holy sites. Like my ancestors before me, I rose beyond what was expected of me, and I crushed those who would see me fail. That morning, surrounded by other Jewish women, I saw God peering through the cracks in the wall. God was there only for a moment, as hands touched hands, as prayers ascended upwards, as courage spoke louder than fear. Others would disagree, but I know what I saw. God was there that morning.
Continue with Listen on page 35.
If you're lost, you feel afraid,
and you don't know what to say, then listen, listen to our God. Is there a question on your mind? Is the answer hard to find? Then listen, listen to our God.
Let's all join together.
Listen with all your heart and soul, and with all of your might. Write them and learn them and teach them well, every morning and night. Close your eyes and listen. Quiet yourself, there's nothing to say. Stop all the chatter that gets in the way and listen, listen to our God. When the wind and the thunder finally disappear, there's still a voice that you will hear if you listen. Listen to our God. You can hear it from the top of the highest hill, or from the valley below. It can come from the edge of the universe. It can come from within your soul. Close your eyes and listen.
We'll rise together and sing the Shema as one community.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malachuto Leolam Vaed. Listen, listen to our God. Listen, listen to our God.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Camilla Grossman. God, a term that is thrown around in basically every single religion. Adonai, our God, the God of the Jews. My entire life I have struggled with the idea of God, a figure that some says is constantly watching over us and shaping our lives. Do I believe in God? I'm not sure. And to be honest, I don't know if I'll ever be sure. When I think of God, Adonai, I don't think of a figure who has the power to change our lives, telling us who we will fall in love with and what step to take. I don't imagine a God that will drown out an entire population of people just because some say God believes they are corrupt. Rabbi Paul and Rabbi Julia teach that there are many different ways to believe in God, and that all the powerful, all-controlling image of God is one idea that we do not necessarily need to embrace. When I think of God, I think of salty waves kissing the sea on a sandy beach. I see human connection. When you click with someone so well, they must be your soulmate. I see birds free to fly and roam the sky. I find God in the beauty of nature. dancing through life like the rest of the world, observing and appreciating life, but not touching it. Rabbi Paul and Rabbi Julia teach them ideas parallel the God ideas of some of the great Jewish thinkers of the last century. Like Rabbi Abraham Joshua Herschel, Judith Plasko, Spinoza, and Martin Buber, I am still unsure what exactly my beliefs are, but nevertheless, I truly love being a Jew.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Sarah Levy. I do not think I could ever thank my parents enough for shipping me off to Jewish summer camp 9 summers ago. As my 4th grade self rode the bus through the gates of URJ Camp Newman, I had no idea how impactful that place would be on my life. Spending my summers on Porter Creek Road were crazy, fun-filled adventures, but as I returned home at the end of each summer, I always felt a sense of maturity and growth. At camp, living in a cabin with 15 other girls can be challenging at times, but after learning the importance of good communication, kindness, and respect, it seemed as though many of those difficulties disappeared. At camp, I spent the majority of the week looking forward to Friday night Shabbat. With the entire camp dressed in white, gathered together to pray, I found my Jewish identity. It was during those many Shabbat services, sitting blinded by the sun in the Beit Tefillah outdoor sanctuary, that I realized how awesome it was to be Jewish and how special I felt to be part of such an amazing community. Through weekly Frisbee games on the upper field, hiking to the Star, early morning tefillah in the vineyard, working at Oki, the camp's kibbutz, cabin time, getting to know my counselors, and simply experiencing what it was like to be a carefree kid in the summertime, Camp Newman instilled within me lifelong values of friendship, teamwork, family, and love that I will carry with me for the rest of my life.
We'll continue with Mi Chamocha on page 40. La 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 la
The summer after my sophomore year, I traveled with Nifty to Israel with about 30 other Jewish teens. This wasn't my first time going to Israel. A few years before, I had been with my family, but something about this trip was different. Not only did I get to experience a taste of freedom, being in a foreign country without my parents, but I was also older, and that gave me a new appreciation for the land. In Hebrew school, teachers would always talk about how important Israel is to the Jewish people, and how meaningful it can be, but I had never truly understood until I experienced it myself. I remember vividly the time I felt the most spiritual. We were driving up to Jerusalem. The staff members blindfolded us on the bus ride from the Negev to the city, and we drove for a long time. Once we parked, they helped us walk out of the bus one at a time, still blindfolded, and lined us up at a viewpoint overlooking the city. They told us to take our blindfolds off at the same time. It was a breathtaking golden sight. We stood there for quite some time, gazing at the old city of Jerusalem, the Dome of the Rock, and the surrounding city. Right there, staring at Jerusalem, this place that contained the history of my people, I felt the most spiritual I ever have before. Taking off that blindfold and having the blindingly beautiful sight of Jerusalem right in front of me was a magical feeling.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Leah Kelly. At the time of my 13th birthday, I was incredibly embarrassed and frankly terrified to stand up and become a bat mitzvah in front of all of my friends and extended family. The thought of chanting Hebrew in front of some 200 people and speaking about Judaism and myself scared me senseless. However, after leading the service and accomplishing this impressive task, I felt stronger and much happier to be a part of the Jewish community. As the years have passed since September 2014, I've become increasingly more connected to other Jewish teens and find myself sharing my Judaism with others. I have mustered the courage to sing multiple times at High Holy Day services and have been an active member of LOMTI, Ormi's senior youth group. I've seen the real impact an older teen madricha can have on younger Jewish students and the power I possess to illuminate aspects of Judaism to my non-Jewish friends. I am aware now of how the Ormi and Jewish community at large has shaped me into a kinder, more open-minded individual. I hope that as I begin this new chapter on my academic and personal journey, I can promote Jewish values wherever I go and maintain a strong connection to this caring Jewish community.
Lizzie Hirsch, our bat mitzvah tomorrow morning, will lead us in Veshamru in our prayer book on page 44.
And I'd like to call forward Diane Gubin from our Hinenu Caring Community Committee and our board to share some.
Great, thank you. Lizzie, Mazel Tov, you did a beautiful job. Welcome to you and to your family. I am honored to share the Bima with you. Your voice and presence have brought much joy to us all. I just adore and I'm so proud of the work that we do here at Congregation ORMA. We have just an awesome team, and Rabbi Paul, Rabbi Julia, Cantor Doug, Diane, in getting you ready for your bat mitzvah process. And becoming a bat mitzvah, in addition to, it was a lot of work, right? Right. In addition to learning your portion and prayers and, learning to read and write in Hebrew and write speeches, etc., on top of that, it's all about who you are and what you do. So I had a wonderful discussion with your mom, and she told me that you're a 7th grader at A.E. Wright Middle School here in Calabasas. She said you like to dance, right? Hip-hop and contemporary. She said you love Harry Potter. And she said you love to cook and that you're a master baker. So what is it you bake?
I like to do like everything.
Everything? How come everyone in your family is so thin? and for your mitzvah project, right, you took this love of baking and cooking and you made chocolate bark and you went to Beverly Hills stores and you sold the chocolate for the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Great job. We look forward to you continuing your Jewish education, especially to your participation in Tikkun Olam, healing the world. We hope that you will continue to embrace your Jewish values and traditions, like this wonderful accomplishment in becoming a bat mitzvah. And with the many activities here at ORMA, you will always find something to do, right? There's always a place for you. At any age, you're always welcome here. There's a gift I have for you here on behalf of the Congregation ORMA's Hinenu Caring Community. Thank you. Mazel tov to you and to your family.
Mazel tov.
Great.
I spent the first semester of my senior year on a small kibbutz nestled in the Judean hills outside of Jerusalem. I brushed my teeth to the sound of the Arab village's call to prayer. As I walked to breakfast, I dodged speeding, terrible drivers with license plates reading IL, Israeli. I ate rugelach and pita for breakfast, schnitzel for lunch, and matzo ball soup for dinner. I crossed paths every day with men wearing yarmulkes and tzitzit swinging from under their shirts. I love Israel because of how I felt at the Kotel, the Western Wall, but also because of the quiet on Shabbat, because of the sound of Hebrew constantly spoken around me, and because when you breathe in Jerusalem, you breathe in history. I love Israel because it is the beating heart at the center of our Jewish people, and because at the core of my identity as a human being is my identity as a Jew. I love Israel, plain and simple, because Israel is my home.
Last summer, I was fortunate enough to travel to Israel with Nifty. As I look back upon the 4 weeks I spent traveling throughout the country, I find myself lacking a singular word to describe its magnificence. Israel for me was about melting away under the blazing hot sun as I walked for 4 days in a desert where my ancestors had walked for 40 years. Israel was hearing a Palestinian man talk about his perspective on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Israel was living on a kibbutz, enjoying freshly made rugelach from Jerusalem's Machana Yehuda Shuk, climbing Masada to watch the sunrise, leaving a written prayer in the Kotel, the Western Wall. For me, Israel wasn't just another place on the map. It was a place where I felt connected to my Jewish roots and at home, no matter which part of the country I stood in. Never in my life had I felt so proud and so accepted to call myself a Jew. I grew to appreciate the hardships everyday Israelis face and looked up to the Israeli teenagers the same age as me who pridefully go and defend and serve their country. In Israel, everything was hustling and bustling, but as I occasionally stopped to take in the view, I was able to see the true beauty and diverse culture that exists there. I cannot simply choose one reason as to why I love Israel. I simply love it because of all the reasons put together.
We rise for the Amidah, page 48. Lie, lie, lie,
Elohei Kippur v'hanora El Elyon Gomel chasadim tovim V'konei hakol V'zocher chasdei avot ve'imahot Umevi geula livnei v'neihem Le'ma'an shemo be'ahava Melech ozer u'moshia u'magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah.
Page 50.
Mechakel chayim bechesed, mechayei hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim verofei cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar. Michamocha ba'al gevurot, umido melech, melech meimit umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua. V'ne'eman ata lechachayot hakol, Baruch ata Adonai, mechayeh hakol.
Please be seated.
When you're Jewish, you're automatically born into a giant, crazy, loving family. I am someone who has always struggled to fit in and find my place in the community. When I entered high school, my parents, like any good Jewish parents, signed me up for Jewish youth group. Right away, I was thrown into a community where I was going to be accepted, no matter what, and simply just because I was Jewish. My youth groups, Lomti and Nifty SoCal, taught me that my one voice matters and that I can make a difference. They gave me the confidence to become a leader and advocate for what I believe in. With them, I have been able to travel to Israel, Poland, New York, Washington, and even Texas, creating friends in almost every single U.S. state and a few other countries. I've made the best friends I've ever had, and a family that will be with me wherever I go. Both of these youth groups have a strong emphasis on Tikkun Olam, healing the world. At every event, we have a program focused entirely on social action, and ways that we are able to help move our world in a positive direction. When the fires came to California, our community bonded together instantly, looking out for each other. Houses were open to those who need it, and everyone was texting and calling each other to check in. We helped write letters to firemen and thank them for their services, and collected goods for those who lost everything. Being Jewish is part of my identity. It's what makes me, me. I am so grateful to have grown up in such an incredible Jewish community and that has instilled a strong love and Jewish heritage in me.
I sat down for a long time, racking my mind for a single phrase through which Judaism could be described completely. Now, this was way more difficult than I expected. I struggled placing our Jewish religion into a box, defined by a single phrase. But I did end up at a statement so vague that it felt truly ironic. I came up with, Judaism is a holy community of wildly different interpretations. This is what I believe Judaism to be. Judaism is so many things. It can be strict while also lenient, demanding while also having a soft side. I mean, even our traditional foods are diverse, allowing you to have either melt in your mouth kugel or throw up in your mouth gefilte fish. This is what I love about Judaism. This is what I love about Judaism. everyone can figure out exactly what they might like or dislike about what the Torah teaches, and the beautiful thing is that there's a different opinion and interpretation in every single nook and cranny. With unlimited potential and an overwhelming accepting community, what is there not to love?
We'll continue on page 52 with Atah Kadosh, the last part of the Amidah. You can remain seated.
Ukdoshim b'chol yom, yehallelu Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
I believe that one of the central Jewish values is Shomrei Adamah, or keepers of the earth. Genesis, the first book of Torah, teaches us that this world is a gift, and as its stewards, we are responsible for protecting it. In fact, we have an entire holy day, Tu B'Shvat, dedicated to celebrating the importance of trees specifically, but also the whole environment. I feel that Judaism's message connects to me deeply. I consider myself an ardent environmentalist, and the Jewish emphasis on protecting our planet encourages me to live my life consciously and respectfully towards the earth. Throughout my years of high school, I have had an active role on the Environmental Sustainability Council. This, too, has provided me with a way to impact my peers and school administration to prioritize conservation. Living in Calabasas, surrounded by rolling hills and countless wild species, inspires me further to practice habits like taking shorter showers, recycling, and purchasing eco-friendly items. There has always been an ingrained passion for environmental activism within me, and I hope that as I continued on to college, I maintain these habits and push myself to be a voice for change regarding the issue of climate change and environmental degradation.
My favorite story from the Bible is the story of David and Goliath, about a young shepherd boy and a mighty warrior. The story describes how the underdog, David, despite the odds, defeats the experienced soldier, Goliath. This powerful story teaches us about the Jewish value of imutz lev, or bravery and courage. It also reminds us that looks can be deceiving. David looked small, especially compared to the giant Goliath. However, his small size masked the ingenuity and power within. David's strength and unwavering faith in God have inspired me to be brave during life's toughest challenges, including my mom's courageous battle with cancer. May we each have the courage and bravery to face our most difficult moments.
Finding that bravery when your loved ones are sitting before you, lying before you, can be challenging. Finding the strength to sit next to them, to hold their hands, to pray and wanting to do so much more is draining. And yet we as individuals and we as a community know that one of the great gifts God gave us is the ability to offer our precious presence, that sense of hinenu, being there during the difficult times, as well as the joyous ones. Some of you here are asking for blessings of healing for your loved ones. As is our tradition, when my hand passes around the room, I invite you to mention their names and their relationship to you. Don't whisper it, because you can't catch what they have. but say out loud their name and their relationship to you. Those struggling physically or emotionally, dealing with spiritual struggle, mental illness. Tonight, we ask for blessings of healing for my mom, Linda.
My son's name was Jason.
My uncle Irvin. My friend Rebecca.
Father Bert. Friend Terry.
My friend Diana Zwing.
Papa.
My friend Marcy.
My sister Jackie, my friend Ron.
That's the Dingmans. My brother Jeff.
My friend Laura.
My mother
For all of them and all of us, let's turn to page 253 as we sing the indented words, page 253.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Mi shebera imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
A few announcements. Next week's service will be Broadway Shabbat with our own musicians and singers here from the congregation. We will use Broadway hits to illuminate the themes of Matbea Tefillah, the order of the service, the prayers we sing. Come.
It'll be great. It'll be swell.
He's going to dance too.
You going to dance now? So please join us at 7:30.
Also, Tuesday, May 28th, we have a Torah study class. If you have yet to experience our adult education, come study Torah with us. Tuesday, May 28th, 7 to 8:30. And by us, I mean rabbis or cantor. One of us will be here to lead that discussion. I think it's me.
It's going to be great then.
It's already prepared.
It's fantastic. We are thrilled to have announced and sent out to all of our partners an absentee ballot. Hopefully you'll come to the congregational meeting, but of our slate of officers and directors for the coming year. Thrilled to announce that nominated to be our incoming president will be Leslie Kraut, sitting right over there. So mazel tov, and the rest of the officers and board members, many in this room. We need a certain percentage of the congregation either to show up or to turn in absentee ballots. Most of you should have received it in the mail. There's also some in the front. So sometime, please take a moment, fill it out, send it in so that our office staff doesn't have to call around to try to find you. And then lastly, on May 31st, is Beach Shabbat. The first of many this summer. We'll go out to Zuma Beach, Tower 12. 5 o'clock BYO picnic. Bring your own picnic. 6:30 services. It's going to be great. Dress down, have fun, join us.
Yeah, we're saying goodbye. If you're Kesher, Menshify, Triple T, we're saying goodbye to our school year and welcoming summer together.
So come and join us. It's going to be awesome. And you can find out more things about Orami on the flyer or on our website, orami.org. Even as we gather for times of joy and celebrate with these wonderful young people, our mitz, our bat mitzvah, and others, we remember that we are up here able to pass on Judaism because we stand on the shoulders of those who come before us. We remember particularly the 6 million who died in the Holocaust, who were murdered, 6 million Jews murdered, and 5 million others too. We bring into our hearts a beautiful woman, a member of my wife's sorority, who was murdered down in Poway as she tried to protect the rabbi, as she tried to ensure that she could just say Kaddish, and because of hate was gunned down. Many of you here are remembering your loved ones during this time of Kaddish. In a moment, we will invite you to mention their names and relationship to you aloud, and then we'll say Kaddish.
As I pass my hand around the room, please feel free to share the names of those who you're remembering.
Dorothy Seiler, Maureen Seiler, Stephanie Lopez. My mom, Marilyn. My grandparents.
Mom, Ellen. Grandma Zelda.
My Uncle Chad.
Awesome friend Russell Grossman.
My grandmother Eva.
Friend Will.
Kathy Spard.
Russell Livingston. Please rise. Turn to page 294. Yitgadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach irtei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayachon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'agola u'v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'amei almaya, yitbrach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yisramam v'yitnaseh, Yitadar v'yitalev yitalal shmei dekudesha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran be'elma v'imru amen Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael v'imru amen Oseh shalom b'imromav huya aseh shalom aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
I'd like to call forward our rabbinic intern, Alana Nemetov. Congregation Or Ami has been blessed over the years with something like 47 rabbinic and education students from Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion and also from the American Jewish University, who have come to Or Ami, many schlepping great distance in traffic, one way, and coming out here to teach, to inspire our young people, to learn, and to do so much more. And some are here for 1 year, some for 2, some for 3, some for more. Rabbi Julia will be celebrating a little bit. Among our other faculty are Tammy Cohen, who just sang the Misha Berach up here, our education intern, Meir Bargeron, who is our rabbinic intern and staying around for another year, Alana Rabashaw, who was with us this year and will be going off to do a year at another synagogue. And we have 2 rabbinic students, one who are getting ordained this year. And we'd like to take a few moments in tonight's service to say some special words to them and to bless them. And so we begin. When the fires hit, and you and I have talked about this a lot, when the fires came in very quickly, devastating this area, causing almost 80% of our congregation. Serious. You were saying. Reason why the rabbi shouldn't have his phone up on the beam. When the fires came in and causing almost 70% of our congregation to be under mandatory evacuation, we had to think quickly and figure out what to do. How to remove the Torah scrolls from the sanctuary, but then how to create support for our congregation. You were here because you were working with Rabbi Julia to create a way for our young people to talk about the shooting that had just happened out at the Borderline bar and dance place out in Thousand Oaks. Alana, in that moment and in the days to come, along with your classmates and intern colleagues, but you especially, rose up and became de facto, and most of the congregation doesn't know this, our 3rd rabbi. You took a leadership role, tracking down people who had lost houses, making sure that they knew not only that we were here, but making sure that within 24 hours of that event, they had a significant gift card to purchase whatever they needed in the immediate to be able to find their way forward. You made sure that as holidays came around that they had what they needed to be able to celebrate. You became, for Rabbi Julia and for me, one of our prime sounding boards, and more our partners. It was you who came up with the idea of having a kids camp that became also an adult hangout, that became the place where the entire Jewish community in the West Valley, in Conejo Valley, came to gather to celebrate. It was you who saw a need. It was you, without being asked, who worked to create that need. When I left town, because I had to be with my family, it was you that Rabbi Julia turned to in many ways to support the congregation. You have created programs, you have written curricula, you have inspired our young people. You have done the work that in any other place would make you a rabbi. But you had to wait till you finish your coursework. And you have to wait till ordination in a couple of weeks. And then you'll be called rabbi. But to us, since November, and before in your teaching, but clearly since November, you have been one of our rabbis. And so you will venture off cross-country soon to a new job in Connecticut, to a new marriage to your beloved, to a new home you're moving into, starting all things over and requiring that we too start over, to find a way to build a community without your partnership. You are an inspiring rabbi. You are a tireless rabbi. You make us proud. And so we will be gifting you, as soon as you pick it out, a talit made in Israel from Gabrielli that you will wear at the special moments in your life that you will wear on Shabbos. And as the tzitzit remind you of your obligation to live a good, ethical, moral, ritual-filled Jewish life, let it also remind you that dangling out here, back in Calabasas, are a whole bunch of kids and teens and adults who are bonded to Judaism and to each other because of you. Thank you. Mazel tov. We can't wait to call you Rabbi.
Thank you.
This year I was often asked what my ideal job looked like. Without hesitation, I would answer that I wished to be in a warm, welcoming synagogue where people felt safe and kindness abounded. I wanted a place that felt like home. To be honest, I was describing Orami, which has been my second home for the past 5 years. When Rabbi Julia and I were talking about whether or not I would work at Congregation Orami, I was walking through Israel, and she said, "Are you sure you don't mind driving?" And in my head I said, "I hate driving." But out loud I said, "It'll be fine." And it was. From the moment I walked through the glass doors to become a faculty member for both Mishpacha and Kesher, the drive was inconsequential, because this amazing community has welcomed me and each other with open arms. As I grew in my relationship with Torah, I developed a deeper understanding of the power of this beautiful community. At Orami, people see each other's godliness. We see that we're created in B'Tselem Elohim, in God's image, each worthy of being seen as we are. Within the walls of Orami flows a passion, a holiness undiminished by fires or shootings. The devastation wrought by this year only demonstrated even more profoundly that this is a Kehila Kadosha, a holy community. In fact, it's a learning community, a place where people dive deeply into the bigger questions of who is God and why should I believe in God and what does it mean to be Jewish, as our confirmand struggled with tonight. As I've also struggled with these questions, you've been my partners in exploration, teaching me as well. Rabbi Paul, Rabbi Julia, and Cantor Doug, in partnership with amazing leadership, you have created an inspiring community deeply committed to the values of Tikkun Olam, repairing the world, and Ahavat Olam, love of the world. Here I learned how to guide others to their own Jewish path, to help them discover how to best help themselves. I did it by watching you three gently navigate people's emotional challenges from the entire spectrum from birth to death, through fires and shootings, through difficult and joyous times. More than anything, I feel like each of you has mentored me in my process to be first a Jewish educator and then a rabbi. With your patient support, I have learned to sit with someone in pain and to guide students to discover their own Hebrew ability. I've witnessed the power of a cohesive teen program to engage families in Jewish life, and seen the teens themselves come alive with wrestling with the beliefs in God. At Orami, your nishamot, your souls, they come alive as you sing powerful contemporary interpretations of traditional liturgy. Those songs have also become part of my own soul. Orami, thank you for transforming me into the rabbi I am becoming. In you, I have come into myself and discovered the tools and space to grow. I cannot begin to express how I will miss this community and all of you. Thank you. I'll even miss the drive out here.
Semen tov, mazel tov, semen tov, amen tov, mazel tov, semen tov, amen tov, mazel tov, semen tov. Yehelanu, 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 ulechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu,
all of our faculty, interns, teachers, that's you, come on up. When interviewing potential faculty for teaching positions at ORME, I say that if you want to work at a place where you will feel the warmth of community firsthand and experience being a part of a family of faculty who like working together and respect one another, then ORME is the place to be. Each of you walk the walk and talk the talk that is ORME. You are kind and inclusive, accessible and caring, and warm individuals. We feel lucky to know you and work with you. You not only teach children and teens and adults, but you teach the clergy. And for all of this, we are grateful. For sleeping on cots next to rowdy kids on retreats, for guiding students struggling to understand what they believe or what they don't believe, for sitting on the floor with our students while singing silly songs, creating Jewish crafts, or playing card and board games, for being role models, especially to our teens, showing them that teaching Judaism and being involved in synagogue life, even after college, can be cool. There is a saying, a teacher's purpose is not to create students in their image, but to develop students who can create their own image. Thank you for bringing this quote to life. Each of you helped develop ORME students into creative thinkers and designers of their Jewish future. A special thank you to our college fellows, Amanda Front and Aviva Hollander, who worked long days and nights to help all of our programs run this year, from retreats, all Triple T events, subbing for religious school teachers, teaching religious school, private Hebrew tutoring, soap making, etc., etc., etc. We will all miss seeing you every day in the building, but we are so excited for you as you continue on your way in college. And to our interns, Ilana Nemitov, Ilana Rabashah, Tammy Cohen, and Meir Barjron, thank you. Thank you for being my partner in so much of the work we did this year. I appreciate each of you and the strengths you bring to this community. Ilana Nemitov, it is incredible to have witnessed your transformation over the last few years. We are beyond lucky to have had you working with us this past year. Thank you for being my right-hand woman in so many ways, for infusing our community, especially our youth, with spiritual and mental wellness in easily usable tools, and for supporting me and my family. Ilana Rabashah, you are a gem. You are a very special individual, and it has been an absolute blast working with you and learning from you in these short months. Tammy Cohen, we are blessed to know you, to learn from you, to hear your beautiful voice, and to work with you. You so quickly became a part of the team, a part of the family. Your support and ideas and feedback have meant so much to us and to me. And Meir, I am so excited for what's to come for next year. Thank you for bringing our social justice work to a whole nother level. And to our forever intern, Julie Bressler. The impact you made on this community is still here. We are very proud of you and cannot wait to see what kind of impact you make on your new community. Remember, all of you, that ORME will always be your second home when and if you need us. And to the faculty team, thank you for being my family and for an incredible year. 2 gifts. One of the gifts you'll receive after services, otherwise it will take forever to pass it out. But this is a gift from Whitney and Howard Schwartz, our congregants, who made each of you their necklaces, and it has a key charm on it. It says grateful on it. I don't think there's a better way of describing our thanks than wearing a Whitney and Howard Schwartz design. So you will receive that, and make sure to grab your gift at the end of services. Thank you to all of you. And instead of making all of the Madrachim come up again, if you will just stand, because I would like to thank all of you as well. To our Madrachim, what an incredible year we have had together. You are the backbone of ORME's education programs and a true partner in engaging youth. Thank you for volunteering your time every week to play, teach, learn, hug, accompany to the bathroom, distract from homesickness, grab water for tummy aches and ice for injuries, sing with during tefillah, and be role models to our kids. You rock, and I cannot wait to see what we get to do together next year. And your gifts and also a more official goodbye ceremony will happen on May 15th. So thank you all to all of you. And you all may be seated. Thank you, faculty.
Julie Bressler. So Julie was our intern, rabbinic intern last year, education intern the year before, and worked here for about 700 years before that. She looks very young for her experience. Julie, you came here and ran our Mishpacha program and helped us dream its next evolution that ultimately became the Menschify program that is doing so well and growing. And then we had an idea, because we received a grant, to do a program called Shmirat Haguf v'Hanefesh, caring for the teen body, mind, and soul. Federation invested in us to transform this place into a place of safety, of healing, of wholeness for our teens. And when it was time to effectuate that program, we turned to you. Because you have an incredible way, Julie, of taking an idea that you know very little about and finding the right people and bringing them together and then creating not just a program but a whole movement to transform the synagogue and the community. What you did to our congregation grew and grew. Our teens made our 4th through 6th grade retreat become a health and wellness retreat. You ensured that we talked about this from the Bima on the high holidays, in our homes, at our Break the Fast, and more. You find a way to sit at every table that's important, to raise your voice to social justice. And though you left us to go to that little shul in the city for 1 year to get a big synagogue experience at Temple Emmanuel, there you also opened up a conversation about Me Too, about the way we treat gender and women, and the way we need to transform society to bring equality and goodness for all. You are a rabbi for us, and you have been. And we look forward to hearing what you do as you go to Needham, Massachusetts, back in my old state, where you will be a rabbi, and you will transform that congregation as well. Thank you for the gifts of your heart and soul and wisdom and caring, for partnering with Rabbi Julia Cantor-Doug and me and our whole team to make this place the beautiful, caring community that it is. We look forward to calling you Rabbi. Mazel tov.
You're going to hear a similar story than you just did. About 5 years ago, I received an email that said, Calabasas is very far away from where you will live, but ORME is totally worth it. Okay, maybe just work on Sunday morning. Weekday traffic is really, really bad. But I can say that agreeing to teach in Mishpacha has become one of the most important yeses of my entire life. I have been so honored to work here as a faculty member, as a rabbinic and education intern, to sit with you in moments of joy and sorrow, to kvel as teens lead beautiful and thoughtful programs on retreats for younger students, to ask big questions about how we bring conversations about mental health and wellness out of the shadows and into the open, and to pray and sing and laugh all over this building. During my recent interviews for rabbinic positions, I kept referring back to ORME as the model, a place of innovation, of community and thoughtfulness, where people of all ages are welcomed and supported as they find their place and understanding of Judaism. a teaching community that encourages interns to assume big leadership roles, knowing we will falter along the way. A sanctuary always prepared to help us reflect and support us as we try again. Or Me is a model that I hope to replicate in my next part of my journey. So thank you, Orme. Thank you to the youngest students for being my teachers and asking big questions. To the oldest teens for being dedicated leaders who take care of one another in the most profoundly beautiful way. To the staff for greeting us always with a smile and for being wonderful thought partners. To fellow interns and faculty, past and present, for carpools and laughs and working through oh so much together. And to Cantor Doug, Rabbi Paul, and Rabbi Julia, thank you for being the mentors of my dreams and for helping me find my voice and strength over all of these years. And thank you to all of you, the Orme community, for creating and dreaming and working together to make this world a better place, and for shaping me into the rabbi I can't wait to become. It's truly been an honor.
Semen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, semen tov, amen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, semen tov, amen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, semen tov, Yehelanu, 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 Olechol Yisrael.
I'd like to call up our confirmands. I'd like to invite our 11th graders to come stand on the floor right here in front of them.
To our 12th grade friends, the 11th graders created this blessing for you. We are going to miss confirmation with you guys. We wish you happiness and success in your future, and we will miss having someone to look up to. We wish you lots of laughter and happiness in the coming years. We'll never forget all the times we've shared. You have given us each a personal role model, and for that we are forever grateful for the relationships you have built in our community. We hope you find the light of Orme wherever you go. The Triple T teens of 2018-2019 would like to give you a homemade travel Shabbat box. We all hope the things inside make Shabbat away from home enjoyable, and you remember that you always have a home here at Orme.
Okay, a little bit more specific. Thank you, Alex, for the blessing. So the Triple T teens, as Alex said, made a travel Shabbat box. Thank you to Amanda and Aviva, who made your college colors on the outside of the box. And inside the box, Orme is gifting you travel Shabbat candlesticks and tea lights. Your Triple T friends made challah covers, Kiddush cups, and we hope that you will enjoy. They all have messages on top of them as well that we hope that you will enjoy. And because the adults are the only ones listening to me, this other gift we gave you, this is an Orme duffel bag. We hope that you will carry the Orme love in this bag. Hopefully maybe trips home, weekends home. You'll put your stuff in this often. That means you're coming home and visiting often. And so this is another gift that we'd like to give you guys from Orme.
To the future 12th graders of Congregation Orme, thank you for going on this journey with us. We will miss learning with you and spending time together. We know, though, that you will help strengthen the Orme teen community, and we are incredibly proud to call you our friends.
We'll invite the 11th graders to sit down. 12th graders can take your your Shabbat boxes and your shaboxes and your duffels. I'm totally going to get one of those. So, yes, the service is coming towards conclusion, but there's blessings still to do. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your time. I think we missed something, but Mazel Tov. It's keeping going, right? Okay. So we have blessings of our young people still. So we'll ask that people sit in quiet, listen to the beautiful music, watch the moments of blessing, and then we'll invite parents to bless their children. We invite almost Rav Alana Nemetov to share, to call up our students.
Cami Grossman, Ayala bat Rami Ve'ilana, Rachel Kraut, Rachel bat Saralea, daughter of Peter and Leslie.
To a land that I will show you. Lech lecha, to a place you do not know. Lechi la, on your journey I will bless you. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi la. Lechi lach. And I shall make your name great. Lech lecha, and all shall praise your name. Lechi lach, to a place that I will show you, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi la. And you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing.
Sarah Rose Levy, Sarah bat Yonatan David Venechama, Leah Kelly, Leah Rivka bat Leah Chaya, daughter of Robert and Linda.
Shema B'ni, take these wings to fly with. Shemi B'ti, with these roots you will grow. This is my promise, this is my blessing. You are the promise, you are the blessing. Shema B'ni, God's children come into this shelter, a place of peace, a house of prayer, a center of learning, of justice, of giving, where everyone's loved and where everyone cares. cry of her infant. A young boy reads, becomes a man. Vows are exchanged as two hearts become one. A daughter returns, reads Kaddish again. Shema B'ni, Shemi B'ti. Ufros Aleinu, Ufros Aleinu, Ufros Aleinu, Sukat Shlomecha.
Yael Brinjagar Bialik, Yael Miriam Bat Harav Shena Chana, Yitzchak Ruvain, Amanda Goldwater, Ariella Gibora Bat David Vimodel Chaya.
So you shall fly on wings of eagles, and you shall grow like a sturdy tree. This is my promise, this is my blessing. You are the promise, you are the blessing. Shema B'ni, Shemi B'ti, Shema B'ni. We are gifts, we are blessings, we are history in song. We are hope, we are healing, we are learning to be strong. We are words and we are stories. We are pictures of the past. We are carriers of wisdom, not the first and not the last. The Dor Vador Nagid Godlecha. The Dor Vador we protect this chain from generation to generation. The Dor Vador, his lips will praise your name. Looking back on the journey
Danny Pattis,
that we
Hannah Bat
carry
David Udavora.
our heart from the shadow of the mountain to the waters that would part. We are blessed, we are holy. We are children of your way, and the words that bring us meaning, we will have the strength to say. Dor Vador Nagid Godlecha. Dor Vador protect this chain from generation generation to generation. Ador vador, these lips will praise your name. We are gifts, we are blessings, we are history in song. We are hope, we are healing, we are learning to be strong. We are words, we are stories, we are pictures of the past. We are carriers of wisdom, not the first and not the last. Dor vador nagid godlecha, dor vador we protect this chain from generation to generation. Lador vador, these lips will praise your name.
A final blessing, and we close. If you can take out these purple sheets, the ones that say blessing of confirmands, Birkat Kabbalat Torah. If you are parents of confirmands, please rise and read with me. I have to get my glasses. Parents together. Then they were young, just little children, listening, looking up to us with those believing eyes, holding our hands and feeling safe. Then we told them of Moses and Miriam, Queen Esther and Judah Maccabee, moments in our history that could have meaning for young minds. Then we lit the menorah and read the Haggadah and ate Hamantashen and hissed at Haman. Traditions of our people that sparkle, rituals that little hands can perform. And they were Jews. Family of confirmands, rise also.
Together we all say, now they are older, no longer little children. They listen and question and look us straight in the eye. They seek a hand to hold and they want to feel safe. Now we tell them of Torah and honor and of tzedakah, and we explain the ethics and morals that have kept our people together through the ages. Now we show them the beauty of Shabbat and rejoice in the glow of the candles together. Now the matzah is more than unleavened bread. It symbolizes our sensitivity to the afflicted. Now we find meanings for our traditions so they live for today, and they are Jews.
We invite the whole congregation to please rise as we finally bless our confirmands, and we say together, when they are grown, they will seek answers by themselves. They will make their own safe harbor. Israel, the people, will be there when we know to look toward new ways to unfold old traditions, new lives based on the ethics of our antiquity, new horizons to ponder, and they will be Jews. We take a moment, and I'm going to ask each of you to go stand with your parents. I'm going to ask people to put down your prayer books, to put your arms, if you're comfortable, around the people next to you. As we close the way we close every service, we close our board meetings. We invite our 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th grade teens, if they wanted, to join us up on the bima. And we close with Hashkivenu. Amidenu Shomrenu L'chaim Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings.
Shelter us beneath thy wings.
O Adonai, guard us from all harmful things. O Adonai, keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us daily wrong from right. O Adonai. Amen. And so we honored our teachers and said goodbye to dear youth workers and soon-to-be rabbis, interns, some faculty. We honored our teens, our mits, and our confirmands, bat mitzvah too, and our confirmands. You who stayed all the way through learning and leading, teaching and growing. You inspire us. You remind us that the light of Or Ami, that the lights that these Holocaust candles remind us of, will not falter because you are carrying the light forward. That's something to praise as we sing. Thank you to Cantor Doug and to Scott as their almost final acts as almost rabbis. We invite our two interns to go out and lead Motzi and Kiddush. Shabbat Shalom. Join us at Fiona.